Stop just doing simple banded exercises or low level drills. Do those things if they help you and they feel good. There's nothing wrong with movement, but a lot of times where people get stuck in their rehab journey is they don't actually stress the system and the tissues well enough to actually create adaptation and therefore decrease pain, right? A big component of a lot of people's problems when it comes to their pain and the discomfort they feel is actually just a lack of overarching capacity. So if you level yourself up to the demands of what you're trying to do in life, you're going to experience less pain. Doesn't mean you're not going to experience pain at all, because pain is part of life. But we get really bogged down in like tissue specific things like, oh, my labrum's torn. That's what's causing my pain. Or my rotator cuff is torn. That's what's causing my pain. And those can be contributors. It doesn't mean that there's not some amount of contribution from the tissue. But if you appropriately calm things down and appropriately build things up, you're going to get a lot better response than just doing like low level stuff that is just basically the calming down. And people get stuck, and physical therapists get stuck because they're shying away from any sort of discomfort or pain that is actually good to work through in order to build up the capacity of the tissue and the musculature and the bones and basically the organic system that we are around the tissue. So don't get stuck doing the low level stuff for too long. You're a lot better off accepting a little bit of discomfort in your rehab and your training, listening to pain and using it as a guide, and then looking at objective or relatively objective leveling up of yourself, right? So say you have, hip discomfort and you start off in like week 1, you're squatting, goblet squats for sets of 10 at 15 pounds, right? And over the course of a couple months, you've leveled up your squat to where you're barbell squatting with less discomfort or relatively the same discomfort at 135 pounds, right? You've leveled up significantly. If you go back and you do those goblet squats again with 15 pounds, there's probably no discomfort, right? And that's the way to approach this. And what happens over time is you start to just care less and less about the pain, and your body cares less and less about the pain because it's not as much of a threat and your capacity is increased. And then you just have to keep that process going and let go of the things that are essentially scaring you, keeping you in pain and stuck. Now, there's a lot of nuance to this, but basically, don't just calm things down. Build things up appropriately. Level up your strength, level up your general capacity, find ways to make yourself challenge the tissues that are the issues, and good things will happen. That's all I got for today. Appreciate you. Peace.